This is Modest Major here, and today I'm bringing you some live commentary over some Halo Master Chief Collection. And what you might notice is a little bit different is that I actually have a dashboard now because I am on the Xbox Series S, which my loving girlfriend Liana just bought for me. And we're going to be playing some Team SWAT today on Halo 3. That's a rare one for me because I'm not much of a SWAT boy. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of chilling, waiting for Halo Infinite, if I'm honest. A little bit sad that they didn't allow us to play on the training academy in between the two weekends. It would have been great. I just wanted to get used to the controls and try stuff out. And honestly, now that I've got the Series S, I might actually play the game on the Xbox because I don't know. At my heart, I'm just a casual gamer. Being able to play on console is a luxury to me. I love console. Whenever I'm on PC, I sometimes just feel a bit stiff or a bit like I don't know what it is. I think it's all mental, literally. Um, but something about playing on a console, it just brings me that nostalgia of playing back in the day, and gaming's always been such a relaxer for me that being able to go back to that and experience that is great. But yeah, I must say I'm very, very excited for. Oh, I got fucked. Very, very excited for the Big Team Battle beta next weekend. I'll be interested to know what you guys think, if that's your main draw. But I think some people, when it comes to talking about Halo Infinite, some people are super positive about it from a perspective of they're Halo fans and just getting to get their hands on Halo again has been so great, and playing all these 4v4 matches. But I think a lot of people, to be honest, won't have been able to get like exactly what they want from that 4v4 beta. And I think a lot of casual players on the side will get a lot more out of BTB, to be honest with you. I think, people have a very short attention span for if they're going to lose or if they're going to experience stuff. And I think BTB is just better for that sort of mindset of, playing a new game type and playing a new, experience, I should say, altogether. I think BTB offers more unique gameplay than like almost anything else in Halo's multiplayer. I think that's why if you look back in time, you go back to Halo 4, BTB's numbers were ridiculous. Halo Reach's BTB numbers were ridiculous. Halo 3's, BTB has always been a huge pull in the matchmaking sphere because I think Halo has some of the best vehicles to offer. And I also really like that they are now opening the playing field so that anyone can get into this beta, even if they're not on the insider program. I think that was really smart because people don't want to jump through extra hoops to get into a game. It almost feels like when you have to download Origin, for example, to be able to play like an Assassin's Creed on PC or something like that. Like people just want to get into their game and play it with no boundaries and no difficulties. So I think it'll be a great way of introducing more people, and I imagine they'll get a lot more numbers into next weekend's beta. I was also thinking about like art style for Halo games and thinking about Halo Infinite. Um, some people have been saying that Halo Infinite is, the best looking Halo game that they've seen so far, and I'd probably have to say it's up there. I think things get a little bit subjective and a little bit dicey when you look at like, how Halo Reach differs from Halo 3 and how Halo 3 differs from Halo ODST. I think you could put a game like ODST at the top of the list for like best looking Halo game from a certain perspective because it maybe creates the best ambience and it has all this lighting features which look amazing, the shadows, the environments. There's a lot going for ODST, but then on the other hand, I would find it hard to put it at the top of my list for best looking game because I think visually with its variety, I think there's not too many differing landscapes. There's a lot of metropolis area, then there's a lot of like almost like savanna grassland, I would say. But it's hard to remember too much more than those two motifs. Whereas in a game like Halo 3, you get jungle, you get metropolitan, you get savanna, you get like everything really. In Halo 3, you get space station, you get Forerunner interiors, underground. There's really a lot to go for it. The same can be said for like Halo 2, which really really pushes the boat in terms of how far out into space you can get and how. I mean, I remember Halo 2, even just like the way that the exteriors of the space stations to me looked amazing from a visual point of view. Um, got the triple, hell yeah, on the standstill, pog, pog, pog. I reckon I could have brought this back if I was not playing so mindless at the beginning. Um, but yeah, I think I'm just like in a state of mind where, uh, for me, like Infinite, it's obviously like the most graphically impressive. I have no idea why he just betrayed me. It's obviously the most like graphically impressive, and part of that is due to the nature of time. You know, it's just got more better hardware to work with. But you also kind of have to question whether or not, will they be limited by their free roaming landscape for graphical variety and art style variety? Because, you're going to have this one area. Are they going to subdivide it into different areas, and then they need to be careful about making it like jarring, because you can't like walk over a certain boundary and then all of a sudden it's lava land, or all of a sudden it's just a completely different looking area altogether. There needs to be some sort of like visual clarity and visual seamlessness. Because you wouldn't want it all to be like, the surface of a Halo ring where it's that grassland with like forest paths and stuff like that. You'd want it to use like the space elements, being able to go into the Covenant spaceships, or being able to go underground into Forerunner architecture. I think there'll definitely be some underground areas where there's a lot of it will go really deep, and they'll be able to explore that environment a lot. And I think we'll see environments similar to Halo 4, where there was a lot of like power core structures underground and a lot of like alien technology. I think we will see that, but I hope it's not like sacrificing any of the visual variety that we're used to seeing in a Halo game. Halo Reach again is another game that just massively accomplishes the goal of being a diverse game in the way that it looks. Being able to travel out into space, using the spaceships in space was like amazing. The first time, it was one of like the best looking things I've seen in a video game, to be honest. And it was mind blowing to me that that was an experience that you could pursue in a Halo game. And I think, yeah, I think Halo Reach just really nails its gritty, more grounded art style. And is Halo Infinite going to be able to carve out its own art style, or is it going to, you don't want it to lean too heavily maybe into the art style that they've set out for in classic Halos. You want it to also have its own, which we'll have to see with the Brute. I do like what they're doing with trying to make more, because I always thought they got their foot in the door with Halo 2 and Halo 3 Brute weaponry and Brute equipment, but I never quite felt that they like nailed it and cemented it so much as they did with like the elite and the human weaponry, because I always felt like the elite and human weaponry was such a big part of Halo's identity, whereas the brutes almost kind of feel like side weapons for me in some areas. Like the brute shot isn't really an area, a weapon I get like massively amped over. Oh, I think my vertical sensitivity is absolutely messed up. That's crazy. But yeah, like not having enough of its own. I'll just sort it out. Another game is fine. Not having enough of its own visual identity is maybe a criticism I would level against the brute weaponry, because it's so much like so prominent. You think about the energy sword, the beam rifle, the plasma rifle, every weapon. Even the brute's plasma rifle is basically just a carbon copy of the elite, and it didn't really function all too differently. It felt quite similar in your hands. So yeah, that's something I definitely think they're going to excel at. I mean, the sandbox already looks great, and the weapons perform and feel really nice in Halo Infinite, and feel I'd say a lot more unique and interesting than Halo 5's so far. Obviously we've yet to see the full game, but from what I've seen so far, the plasma caster never really drew my attention in Halo 5. And there wasn't all too many different weapons that I was like massively into. I mean, I wasn't massively into the Hydra, and already what I've played with in the Hydra in the demo seems more interesting to me. But anyway, I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. I'll just go and play some Fiesta off screen. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I've been Modest Major. Peace out.